Good evening, good evening. How you guys been? Been working, still on strike, so doing the best I can do for the family. That's neither here or there, but I haven't done a video in a while because I've been on night shift, back on day shift, and whew, been a long day. But I wanted to get into the topic today, and we're going to talk about linebackers. I asked somebody the other day if they took a poll of the top 1,000 players in college football history, how many do you think would come off a Florida State roster? And I would say over 100 players could be in the top 1,000 all-time college football players. So that's something to be very proud of. And to the younger Seminole fans out there, what you see now is not the standard that was at Florida State. If you came along at the tail end of the Bowden era or the tail end of the Jimbo Fisher era, Florida State used to be a powerhouse. Florida State used to be a team that not only recruited 4 and 5 star players, but found guys that people may not have looked to, people may not have liked, and developed players. A lot of people still can't believe that Chris Winkie is the first 4-year starter, 3-year starter at Florida State, and Chris Ricks is the first 4-year starter. Most quarterbacks didn't play to their redshirt junior year, so a little bit different in today's time, but Florida State used to be dominant in all facets of the game, and that ended in January of 2001 in a loss to Oklahoma, which is a game we got beat. Not our best day, not our best game, but we got beat. So nothing really major there. I can't even get the computer to come up, but anywho, I still think Coach Bowden's some of his better teams were in the 2002, 2003, and 2004. So other than that, today, I hope you people are having a wonderful day, wonderful evening. I know it's a lot of chatter going on about NIL and sort of things, who's doing this, who is doing that. Who knows? Hopefully we can get it together and get ourselves back on track and get back to competing for national championships. In the background there, if you see the TV, that is the 1998 Georgia Tech Florida State game in Atlanta. I love to watch a lot of those classic games, just the style of play, the attitude the team showed up with. So, going to get off into it today with linebackers. And again, this is all opinion. If you guys don't agree with this, by all means, comment, chime in. Before I begin this conversation, I want to give a shout out to people that I had right at the line, but I didn't put there. Doesn't mean their career wasn't great, but for maybe statistic reasons or how things ended, they didn't get ranked as high. Maybe top 30, top 25, but I do want to give a shout out to Matthew Thomas. I do want to give a big shout out to Lawrence Timmons, Talvin Smith, Terrence Smith, Reggie Northrop, Master Alexander, and a couple other guys that very easily could have made the list. Church, one of the more talented linebackers Florida State ever recruited, and the list goes on to some of the players. So, not going to hold you guys too much longer. We're going to get into it. At number 13, I did 13 on this list, and at number 13, I got Lamont Green. And he was first team All-ACC in 1998. He had 231 career tackles and 22 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown. Lamont Green was a game changer, definitely kind of the heart and soul of the 1998 team, and I really kind of think he was a player kind of like Alonzo Jackson, that type of guy, that type of energy, that type of fire and passion. So I have him ranked as the 13th greatest linebacker I saw in Florida State history. Number 12 is Nigel Branham, and I have him with 306 career tackles, and he ranks 17th all time. So that's saying something. At number 11, national championship linebacker Bradley Jennings, 2001 first team All-ACC, and he's 14th in career tackles with 339 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Now, one of my favorite players that could have been higher on the list and there's a number of reasons why it's not. It's not disrespect to him, but in the time frame he played, he is one of the better linebackers. If he played in the late 90s, or he did play in the early 2000s when he signed, he may have been a top 5 linebacker, but certain things happen. So I have at number 10, one of my favorite Florida State players of all time, Buster Davis. First team All ACC 2006, 265 tackles. He had 27 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 1 interception, and a safety. One of my favorite players was Buster Davis out of Orlando. Coming in at number 9 is Michael Boulware, younger brother to Peter Boulware, and he ranks number 12 in career tackles in his time at Tallahassee with 340. Second team All ACC in 2002, first team All ACC in 2003. What a tremendous player he was. He ended up going to the NFL playing safety, and he did very well. But if he played in today's time, he would be one of those in-space kind of outside linebackers, and he may be headed to the Hall of Fame. Number 9, he wore number 9 after Peter Warwick, is Kellen Pope. And he's number 9. Awkwardly, he's number 9 in career tackles with 352 career tackles. 52 tackles. He had 52 tackles, 20 solo tackles as a freshman. 113 tackles, 52 solo his sophomore year, and in his junior year was his best year in guarding goal, where he totaled 131 tackles, 68 solo, and he had 10 or more tackles in 8 of the Seminoles' 14 games his junior year. And he was second team as a senior. He was second team All ACC, and he ranks second best player in his position. That's Kellen Pope. He was a great linebacker, very productive. Again, he did make it to the NFL, but in today's NFL, he would be one of those in-space linebackers, and he might well be headed to the Hall of Fame too. I think he would have had a better career in this time frame in the passing game. At number 8, a national championship linebacker, a guy that was a true leader from the first moment he stepped on the campus in Tallahassee. Great player, great attitude, great leadership, and he ended up in the NFL too, and that's Brian Allen. And he had 286 career tackles. He is 1999 second team All ACC and 2000 second team All ACC. Can't really say nothing bad about Brian Allen, hard worker, a guy that played all the time since he stepped on the campus and rotated. And when he got his opportunity to start, he made the most out of it. A very aggressive, very hard-hitting linebacker, and he put together a couple of over 100 tackle campaigns, so a very tremendous player there. At number 8 was his teammate, one of the top players that was ever recruited to Florida State, definitely in the top 15 in football, and he played basketball out of Maryland, which is Tommy Polley. And he was first team All ACC his junior year. He led Florida State with 109 tackles, 67 solo, and he had 6 tackles for loss. Entering his senior year, he had 100 tackles, 53 solo, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, broke up 7 passes, and recorded team high 3 fumbles and forced 1. And he also blocked a punt in the national championship game against Virginia Tech. Tommy Polley, probably one of the top 15 greatest players ever recruited for Florida State football. Was a basketball player as well as a football player. So at number 7, I got Sam Cowher, and he had 338 tackles in his career at Florida State, and that ranks him 10th all time. He was a consensus All-American in 1997, and he was the ACC Brian Piccolo Award winner for Comeback Player of the Year in 1997. Just ahead of him, I have Darrell Bush. This is not Devin, this is Darrell Bush, and his career tackles is 361, which puts him 8th all time at FSU. And in 1997, he was 3rd team AP All-American, first team academic All-American, and he is second team All-ACC for his career at Florida State. I think his junior and senior year, he's second team. And one of my guys at number 5, this is like Buster Davis, this is the man. Probably outside of, probably more so a bigger recruit than Deion Sanders. Probably up there with Ron Simmons, the top player ever recruited in Florida State history would be Ernie Sims. I think he had a all 100 or 1,000 on his scores by most recruiting service and publications, and just a tremendous athlete. I think him and Buster Davis and A.J. Nicholson, probably 3 of the hardest hitting linebackers in Florida State history. And I have him at number 5. His career tackles is 200, 21 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, 1 block kick, 1 safety, and he had 1 punt return for 17 yards. In 2004, he was All-ACC second team, ESPN first team All-American in 2004, and College Football News first team All-Sophomore. Went on to be a first round draft pick, but this guy was just the Punisher. Strong, fast, kind of like DJ Williams, played both ways in high school, and came on campus and just in that 2003 group with him and Antonio Cromartie, Bobby Bowden's last 10-win season. And I know everybody went into 2004 expecting us to get back on track and compete for a national championship, but that didn't happen. But Ernie Sims had a tremendous career. And at number 4, probably the greatest defender in FSU history, Aaron Carter, which he holds the school record for 512 career tackles from 1974 to 1977, and he has the most tackles in a season with 82 solo and 99 assisted for a total of 181 tackles in one season. A tremendous athlete, really took off when Bobby Bowden got there, plugged him in the starting lineup, as well as inserted in Ron Simmons in Florida State, hit the gas and never looked back. Number 3, Paul McGowan, and he's third all-time in career tackles with 446, 150 tackles, 97 solo tackles, and 11 tackles for loss as a senior at Florida State, and he is the first Butkus Award winner in 1987. AP, Sporting News, Football News, first team All-American, and he was first team All-South Independent in 1985, 1986, and 1987. So when you talk about 150 tackles in a year, this is a guy that's a heat-seeking missile and can find the ball, and he is our first ever major defense award winner with the Butkus Award. So if he's number 3, you kind of get a feel, you know who the top 2 is. So I was torn between this one, and I went back and forth, and I do think Derrick Brooks is the greatest linebacker in FSU history, but simply due to the fact that Marvin Jones had a little bit of a better career in 3 years, but Derrick Brooks was a 4-year player. But I do have Derrick Brooks at number 2, and he is a 2-time consensus All-American, first team All-ACC his sophomore and junior and senior season, academic All-American in 1994, ACC Player of the Year 1994, scored 3 touchdowns, 2 interception returns, and a fumble return as a junior, and had 77 tackles and 7 for loss. His senior season, he had 3 quarterback sacks, along with 4 tackles for loss and 77 tackles. The truly great Derrick Brooks helped lead us to our first national championship. So without a doubt, we all know, pretty much cut and dry, shade tree, Marvin Jones. Had a little trouble with the tablet here. Give me a second. Cut off on me. So go back right here. Like I say, Marvin Jones, got it back. And Marvin Jones is the best linebacker in Florida State history, and I rank him number 1. And he is a consensus All-American in 1991 and 1992. His season tackles rank 18th with 73 solo and 60 assisted tackles for 133. His career tackles ranked 7th with 369. The Seminoles, the first Seminole to win 2 national awards in the same season, winning the Buckus Award and the Garnet Award in 1992. He is a 2-time consensus All-American, and he had 111 tackles and 7 tackles for loss, and he was ACC first team in 1992, and his jersey is retired. Need I say more? So you guys tell me what y'all think. Like I say, the Sports Information Department always does a tremendous job. It's not hard to find this information in any book, any media outlet. You just Google, search, and everything is there. They do a good job of getting all the stats. So again, to all the Seminole fans out there, this is my top linebackers all time. Like I say, if you have a problem, somebody should have been higher, should have been lower, somebody should have been added, comment, let me know, and we can engage in a good conversation. Most of it's fun, and again, like I say, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy actually talking to y'all, mainly just looking at a screen and talking to myself. But again, this is the greatest linebackers. Up next, I'm gonna do the top 5 teams in Florida State history, or my top 5 slots in Florida State history for non-national championship teams, and we only won 3 national championship teams, but in between that we had a lot of great teams. And then I'm going to be releasing the Florida State all-time DB list, so y'all be on the lookout for those. Go Noles, y'all have a great day, and hopefully 2022 we can start to climb back on top of the mountain.